Blog Talk Radio.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop, yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. And guys, to let you know, Season 3 is still going strong. A lot of great guests from the past, and today is no different. Today's guest, I really don't know where to start. He has done a lot in this industry already for the movie industry and television industry. He actually has a hot new movie that's out also that he's actually in. It's called Ktown Cowboys. But you're going to hear about that later on, guys. But I got to bring him on right now. He's one of the greatest. You will love this interview today. Guys, the one, the only, Lee Doud. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. Now, Lee, on this show, just to let you know, we always talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to get into your career, and much more what you got going on in your life. And I believe people worldwide is about to actually get a treat today. So, Lee, let's start from the beginning. When did you realize that you wanted to become an actor?
I was pretty young, and thank you for that awesome intro. I wish I was the only Lee Doud. I think it would be a crime not to, send a little love back to my dad and my grandpa and my great-grandpa, who are also all Lee Doud. But I think I was probably in my early teens when I realized I really loved acting. I think at a young age, as a young kid, I always talked about being a movie star. And later on, I actually found that I loved the craft and I loved storytelling, and theater was my passion from about 13 to, I guess through college, so through 22. So that's kind of where I started with my acting career. Film and TV didn't really come into the picture until later on, after college and into my adult life.
Nice. And you know what, Lee? It's good that you started at a young age actually getting the passion to, become an actor, because I think anybody that starts at a young age and they know what they want to do, they go come stronger in life. And it shows for what you've done. I've seen the trailers and everything for Ktown Cowboy. I've seen some of the stuff you've done also in the past up to now. And I want to just commend you for what you've done already. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Lee Doud, if you haven't seen none of his work, you're in for a treat. I mean, make sure you go check out everything that he's doing. I'm enjoying what he's doing, so I know you guys will also. Now, Lee, also, I just want to know, did you have any mentors that encouraged you to become a successful actor that you are today?
Absolutely. When I was a kid, I did a lot of community theater, and I still look back on a lot of my teachers from back then when I was a teenager. And I still think of them as my mentors. They're the ones who really instilled my work ethic in me and this love for acting and love for storytelling. And so I still look back, everybody in Walnut Creek, California, where I did a lot of my theater stuff, that, they were my true inspirations from the beginning.
Did you ever think when you was younger that you'll get to where you're at right now? Did you ever have like I guess I could say vision? Did you ever see this coming?
I guess yes and no. I had always, dreamed of the red carpet and dreamed of, movie stardom. And while I don't think that that's happened yet, I am enjoying this journey that I'm on right at the moment, and I'm really happy with where I'm at. And I think that, all the patience and everything, all the work I've put in the last 8 years of living in Los Angeles has really come to fruition as it needed to.
Cool. And, that's one thing, Lee, that I like, because myself, even when I was younger, I always liked to watch a lot of television and movies. And seeing what people do from the stage all the way up to film is amazing, and it makes you want to get into that movie life when you actually have a true passion for it. And that's one thing I want to commend you on also. You know, you followed your dream and look where you're at now. I mean, you're doing big things, and that's something that, you know, no one can take away from you for what you've done. And the greatest thing is your career is nowhere close to being finished. So I can imagine what's going to actually come in your career in the future. I mean, even down to what you've done already from Ktown Cowboys and other shows you appeared on also that we're going to talk about later on. So I just want to commend you again for everything you've done, Lee.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been an awesome journey so far.
Yes. Now, when you was younger, were there any actors that you really enjoyed watching when you was growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge action movie fan as a kid. I loved Jackie Chan. I loved Jet Li. I really wanted to be an action movie star. I really wanted to be James Bond.
Right.
You know, Power Rangers, things like that. And I think it was the special effects and the stunts and everything that kind of wowed me and really made me fall in love with the film and television world.
Okay.
And I also loved, we used to do family movie night at my house. We used to do Friday and Saturday nights. My dad would, back in the day, you record a movie off of television onto a VHS tape, which is a little bit of a throwback there. I would get to watch movies every weekend with my family, and I would watch movies like Shawshank Redemption and these really amazing stories. And, you know, every once in a while we'd get goofy and we'd watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Spaceballs. So I got a really good taste of the film industry in the 90s, you know, current films at the time, as well as, you know, films from the 70s and 80s that my dad knew my brother and I would enjoy.
Now, I'm glad that you brought that up. Now, when you said that Jackie Chan you actually watched when you was younger, now, are you talking about pre-Rush Hour Jackie Chan, or are you talking about during Rush Hour and after? Which version of Jackie Chan? I'm talking
pre-Rush Hour Jackie Chan.
Nice.
You know, even some of his old Hong Kong movies. They're amazing. He's really, really incredible. Rumble in the Bronx was one of my favorites growing up.
I love that movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I still remember the movie, and that was a great action movie. If you watch that movie, and if there's anybody that's real young that's listening right now, if you haven't seen Rumble in the Bronx, you have to see that movie. Now, this is not Jackie Chan from Rush Hour. It's the same person, but it's more action-packed. So everybody that haven't seen that movie, go watch it. It's amazing. It's definitely amazing.
If anyone from Netflix, let's get all that on there. Let's put all the old Jackie Chan movies on Netflix. I would love that.
You know what? They did that. I would never leave the house. I would sit there.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Now, if you could pick one actor and actress, I want both, actor and actress, to work with for a future project, who would it be? And it could be dead or alive.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive. If you can bring them back to life, if it's a dead person you pick, you can bring back to life, who would it be? If it's someone that's alive, who would it be?
You know, I would have to say for actor, Mel Brooks is someone I've always wanted to work with. I was a big Spaceballs fan growing up as a kid. I loved him in Blazing Saddles. I loved his work when he was younger and actually through the 90s into like the Young Frankenstein era. Funny enough, Mel Brooks and I actually have the same birthday, so he's always been kind of a childhood hero of mine, and I think he always has so much fun on his sets, at least from what I've read and have been able to hear. So I love Mel Brooks. If I was to say actress, you know, I'm digging on Maggie Q at the moment. I think Maggie Q is so stunningly beautiful in her work, and she obviously is a stunningly beautiful person as well. I would love to work with Maggie Q. I would love an opportunity to play her sibling or something like that. Like, I think it would be really, really cool. I think she's rad.
Okay. Mel and Maggie, if you're listening, you know what you need to do. Get up with Lee. I think you all can make some magic here. So I believe it's going to happen in the future. So just make sure you stay tuned, because I got a feeling you're going to see Lee doing something big with both of them real soon. Now, for the people that haven't seen this, Lee, I want you to tell everyone about Ktown Cowboys, what the movie is about, how can they see it?
Awesome. Yeah, Ktown Cowboys is a movie that has just hit theaters a couple weeks ago in L.A., New York, San Francisco, and Fairfax, Virginia. It's a romantic dramedy, is I guess how I like to talk about it. It's not unlike The Hangover or Entourage or something like that. It's about a group of guys in Koreatown, Los Angeles, and the shenanigans that they kind of get into as they are coming into their own. It's a really hilarious, fun movie. The guys are awesome. It's a really diverse group of guys. Everybody's very different but equally relatable. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of fun. Executive produced by Ken Jeong, from anyone who has seen The Hangover. And he actually makes a fun little cameo appearance in the movie as well.
Oh, really?
I believe it is out now on VOD, so you can rent it on iTunes and Amazon, Blockbuster, a bunch of those streaming services have it right now.
Man, big shout outs to you, Lee, and everybody that's in the film. Make sure, people, you go check it out, man. This movie, I've seen the trailer of it, and I was ready to see it. Now, Lee got me hyped up now. I'm ready to see this movie. I think I'm actually going to get on VOD because it's a very clean-cut movie. I mean, it's really clean, and ladies and gentlemen, when I say clean, what I mean by that is it's not bootleggish. It's a very, very clean-cut movie that you're going to enjoy. It caught my attention off of the trailer, so I actually do want to see this movie, and I think I'm going to get it on VOD, so I'm going to actually watch it soon, Lee. So big shout-outs to you again, man, and everybody else is in the movie itself that's actually made a major impact in this movie. So thank you again, Lee, for bringing this out. Thank you again for actually getting into this movie and letting everybody get a chance to watch this movie. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely worth checking out. It's a fun Asian American film, and I really like that there's a comeuppance for Asian Americans in Hollywood right now. So I think it's really cool and an important movie. Oh,
yes. I mean, diversity is the name of the game these days, and I mean, with everyone, everyone should get their chance, and you guys, the ball was handed to you, and you all ran with it, and it's a great movie. So, now, Lee, for the people that's just first hearing about you right now, can you tell the people out there right now that's listening worldwide some of the shows, the television shows you've been on?
Yeah, I've had the very blessed opportunities to work on some really cool shows. I worked on Californication on Showtime was my very first television gig. I got brought back to Showtime for another show. I worked on House of Lies a couple of years later. I've also had the opportunity to work with Tim Allen on Last Man Standing for ABC, and recently just did a pilot for TBS.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you planning to actually try to make a return to any of those shows in the future?
At the moment, it doesn't look like there's a return, but you never know. I wish Californication has ended its run, so
right.
We know that I won't be returning to that show, and that actually was one of my favorite experiences. Loved working on that set. But who knows? Maybe. There's a chance I could get brought back to some of these things.
And the good thing is you have it on your resume. So, I mean, you can always look back and also have it inside your memory where you actually done these things. You can go back and find this stuff and watch it. And that's one thing that I think that's cool. You get to actually see everything you've done. I mean, you haven't just, that proves that you're not like a one-hit wonder, what people will call these days. But you've actually done a lot of things. You're making noise out here in the movie and the television industry. So I am very proud of you for what you've done, man. Now,
you.
Lee, are there any future projects that you're working on that you're allowed to talk about right now?
Yeah, I've got a couple actually. Right around the same time Ktown Cowboys got released onto video on demand, the first film that I ever produced just hit video on demand as well. It's available on Vimeo, and it's a movie called The Amateur. It's a really beautiful story about an artist in Los Angeles, a musician, and kind of his journey through the underground music scene here in Los Angeles. So for anyone who knows LA, it's awesome because you get to see a lot of very quintessential Hollywood landmarks in the movie. And for people who don't know LA, it's kind of a side of LA that you don't typically get to see all the time. It's a great film. It's a beautiful story. I'm really proud to have worked as a producer on this project. So that's just come out. And then another short film that I worked on last year is finishing up post-production. And it's another very powerful story. It's about a mother and an artist who very tragically takes her own life. And the film was written and produced and directed by her twin brother, her real-life twin brother. So he was telling the story in hopes to kind of open up this discussion about mental health. And he wants to provide support to families who have been, affected by suicide, because those are the people that we don't really talk about anymore, because they're also victims. So that was that short film. It's called Ira. We're finishing up post-production now, and it'll hopefully be running the festival circuit, probably starting either in the fall or spring of next year.
Well, I guess it's safe for me to say congratulations ahead of time, because I got a feeling this is going to actually be an instant hit. Yes, sir. Now, Lee, let me ask you this question, because I want to know your opinion on this. Do you feel like it's harder to actually get prepared to act in movies compared to television shows? Do you have to actually prepare yourself differently, and is it harder for you to prepare that way?
In terms of preparing my character, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, television moves so quickly. A lot of times you get the phone call 2 days before, and 2 days later you're on set and you have your script and you're just rip-roaring and ready to go. With film, a lot of time, especially, on the projects that I've worked as a producer on, we have a few months of lead-in time, and we have some time to kind of talk about the script and really figure out where our characters are. And that's really nice. Most of the time with television, there isn't a whole lot of time to prepare. It's just kind of a quick and easy in and out.
Nice. Now, and Lee, I haven't had the pleasure yet to actually do live television. So, and it seems like it's more of a rush compared to movies. That's what it really seems like. Like, if you're live, you have to go. There's no cuts, do-overs compared to, getting ready for movies. It's like you have to hit it right then and there. Now, have you actually, the shows you've been on, have you ever had that pressure where you're saying to yourself, okay, I can't mess up. I got to get this. Have that ever crossed your mind when you actually doing the television?
Yeah, when I was working on Last Man Standing, we weren't shooting in front of a studio audience, at least not my scenes. Even still with that multi-camera sitcom, you have to hit your mark. It's a lot more specific, and you have to be there. The timing is very specific. And so it is a little nerve-wracking sometimes, and they move quickly. They want to get their shots in. There's multiple cameras moving at one time, so you don't have that luxury of 8 or 9 takes. They want to get it done in 3 or 4. What was really nice about working on Californication, it was a scene between myself and Evan Hamler, and we got to play. The director really just wanted us to take our time and to just kind of mess around and hang out and really kind of get a good vibe going. And I think we probably did that scene maybe 10 times. And, cutting and talking about it in between. So it is very different. but it's also a lot of fun. I think both instances are a lot of fun.
Nice. And maybe one day I get that chance, but I mean, just hearing from what you're saying right now, it seems like it's a fun in a rush type of way. Not rush as in, oh, I got to hurry up, like a rush off of a high saying, I'm doing this, I'm here, I'm ready to do this again. That's what it seems like, and I'm ready to actually get that experience, and I want to congratulate you again for doing all of this. You're doing great things. Now, Lee, also for your fans that's out there, how can your fans find you on social media?
It's just my name. It's at Lee Doud. Both my Instagram and Twitter handle are the same. And I also have a website. It's just leedoud.com.
Okay, cool. Now, can they actually get information on what you're doing next off your website, or what can they actually find on your website?
Yeah, there's a lot of material on there. You can find some videos and photos, and then there's a bunch of my press stuff, and you can definitely keep up with my projects.
All right. Now, Lee, there's something you said earlier that I can kind of relate to. When you said younger, when you was actually watching different television shows, and I know you named Power Rangers. Now, I was a Power Ranger fan also. In your opinion, which version of the Power Rangers was the best for you? I'm talking from Mighty Morphin all the way up to the newer ones. Which ones did you like the best?
Mighty Morphin was my kind of original Power Ranger, so I think that just holds such a special place in my heart. I've actually had the opportunity a couple times here in the last few years to audition to play Power Ranger. I can't remember what the two titles were, but yeah, I've had a couple opportunities to audition for them, and I kind of geeked out as a kid, like that inner kid in me was kind of jumping for joy at those auditions. One of them I got a call back and had to do some sort of martial arts combination, which was a lot of fun. I came pretty close a couple times to getting those roles, but it didn't pan out at the time.
Wow, I mean, that's amazing that you actually got called in to audition for it. I mean, because that's, to this day, I feel like they actually have, and this is my opinion, Lee, I feel like they have a storage room where they find people and they throw them in the storage room and they say, okay, we're going to do another Power Rangers. They open up the garage door and pull people out. I feel like they have people already they want to actually have to be in the Power Rangers, and you got that chance to actually audition for it, man. That's an accomplishment for me hearing you say this, because, I mean, Mighty Morphin was mine also. I mean, I did Mighty Morphin, and I think Zeo I could get down with also. But some of the newer ones I didn't really get into because I was getting older, but it holds in my heart for Mighty Morphin, and I know Zeo was one of mine also, one of my favorites.
Really?
So, man, yes, sir. So I'm right there with you on that one. I definitely am. Now, Lee, you've done things, man, far as it goes from acting, and didn't you do a little modeling also?
I mean, I've kind of touched in the modeling world just a little bit. It's film and television acting is really my true passion.
Okay.
I love telling stories more than anything, and not to say that photos can't tell stories, but I like the spoken word as well. I've always been very drawn to good scripts.
Nice. Now, did you ever touch the world of I guess I don't want to say Broadway, but plays? Did you ever touch that world?
Yeah, as a kid, that's where kind of my base is. I used to do a lot of theater, and I actually went to college and got my degree in theater. It had been a few years, actually, since I'd been on stage, and last year decided to produce and star in a play for the Hollywood Fringe Festival, which is an annual theater festival held here. There's Fringe festivals all over. I know New York has one, Edinburgh, and Scotland. But yeah, it was really fun to go back to stage last year. I really enjoyed the process. I took about 3 months, and a friend of mine put together a play for the two of us to star in. It was really, really fun.
Nice. Very nice. Now, Lee, I've never had the chance to excuse me, to go visit LA. I'm in North Carolina. So
Okay.
that's one thing, that's one of my goals, my to-do list. I have family in LA, but I haven't actually had the privilege to go there. So with me first time visiting, what would you recommend for the movie world, television world to actually go visit?
I remember my first trip to LA actually very vividly. My parents brought me down. I grew up in the Bay Area near San Francisco. And we came down, I was probably 10, 9 or 10. And I very vividly remember going to the Chinese theater and kind of seeing all these spots in LA that, you see in movies and TV. You see Hollywood Boulevard and Santa Monica. And it's really cool to kind of see these places in real life versus just seeing them on the screen or in photos. So I definitely recommend that, for first-timers out to L.A., you got to do those tourist spots. It's like going to New York and not seeing the Statue of Liberty. It would be a crime.
Man, I like that example. I definitely do. Now, Lee, for your people, for your fans that's listening right now, what is your ultimate goal in acting? Because a lot of people want to know that from actors that's actually out there already, like yourself. You're a successful actor. So what is your ultimate goal in acting?
I would love to star in a series. I love television right now. I love the direction that television is going, the stories that we're seeing now. I think television is hotter than ever. And I love what AMC is doing with, Breaking Bad and then spinning off into Better Call Saul and kind of that world. So I would love to be able to work on a series like that and do something really cool for FX or AMC. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of drama. I love the combination. I just really love great stories that are gritty and dark and just a lot of fun to tell.
Oh, yes. Now, Lee, will we ever see you in the future on Better Call Saul?
I would love that. Why don't we throw that out there if AMC is listening?
Love it. AMC, you heard him. Let's put Lee up there, man. I mean, I believe Lee will actually do a banging job up there. So anybody that's listening that's actually supporting AMC, hit Lee up. Make sure you do. Get him on Better Call Saul because I'm going to be watching. Lee, I guess I'm going to see you in a few seasons up there, Liz. I definitely
we should just start a hashtag like Better Call Lee.
Oh, I like that. I definitely like that. Yes. I think we're going to do that. And let's start a petition, too. How about that? Now, Lee, what advice would you give any male or female that's trying to get into the movie industry or television industry for acting?
Follow your dreams. I think that is the most important piece of advice I can give because it's hard. It can be really hard. This industry can bring you down, but if you have support from friends and family and you're able to just continue pushing through, I think that anyone who puts their time in will get their due. And it is really rewarding. It's really amazing to get to see these projects come to light and come to fruition at the end of all this hard work. But that's, I think, something that not a lot of people realize as well. It's just how difficult it can be. So really, it's just, if this is your passion, if acting or filmmaking, directing, whatever it is, if it's your passion and you feel the calling to follow it, I say you have to do it.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, worldwide is listening. Make sure you go find Lee Doud on social media. Follow him. I mean, he's doing big things. He's about to do bigger things. I'm still claiming it right now. He's gonna be on Better Call Saul. I don't care what nobody say. AMC, I hope you're listening to me because he's coming to Better Call Saul. I'm claiming that right now. Make sure, like I said, you follow on social media. Ktown Cowboys. Check out the movie, guys. I can't stress that enough. If you see the trailer, you're going to be ready to run to the movie theater or get it on VOD. Big shout outs to everybody that was in the movie. Lee, you tell everybody in that movie I said what's up. Big shout outs to them. Make sure you deliver that message for me. And now, ladies and gentlemen worldwide, I'm about to catch Lee Doud off guard. Lee, you didn't see this coming. You want to play a little game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Okay. Now, the game is, and this will go off the top of your head because I didn't even get you prepared for this one. I want you to name your top 5 TV episodes or TV shows that you enjoyed as a kid and also when you enjoyed as an adult right now. I want you to name them off top. You have 45 seconds to name them. Let's see how fast you can do this. Go.
Gosh, okay. As a kid, I watched minimal television up until I was a teenager, so I'm going to go ahead and throw these out there for you. Alias, Lost. There was an awesome show on ABC called Thieves.
Yep.
With Melissa George, which I loved. Acapulco Heat and Walker, Texas Ranger were my top 5 as early teenager.
Nice.
As an adult, oh my gosh. Okay, great. This is going to be crazy. Top 5 as an adult. Sons of Anarchy is at the top of that list. I loved Sons of Anarchy. I thought it was one of the most captivating 7 seasons of television ever created. It's incredibly acted. It's incredibly well written. I loved Sons of Anarchy. Breaking Bad as well. And then I'll throw in on the comedy side Veep. I love Veep. I think it's genius. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is incredible. And on top of that, we'll throw on Girls. And, oh, man, let's mix this one up. What else have I been watching? Quantico on ABC. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Now, one last thing I want you to do to this. You just named 10 shows. I want you to pick one from your childhood and one from your adult that you want to be on right now.
Oh, man. Okay. Alias from childhood. I loved Jennifer Garner. Would love to work with her as well. I think she's phenomenal. And J.J. Abrams, genius. If I could pick one from my adult world, oh, God, Veep. I just think it would be so fun to work with those folks. They're hilarious. And that's honestly what I love most about acting, is that it is so much fun. And when you get to hang out with really great, cool, artistic people, the product that comes out at the end is just so worth it. So Veep.
Nice. Very nice, Lee. You passed the test, man. Now, I guarantee, watch this, within the next 5 years or less, and I'm putting the or less part up there, watch you be on a similar show or one of those shows. If they're, as far as it goes for Deep, watch this. I got a feeling it's going to happen. Actors and actresses, guys, I hope y'all learned a lot today. Lee Doud, thank you for coming on the show. I hope to see you back on the show again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, thank you. Now, Lee, we're not going to hold you up. We know you're a busy guy. We just want to say congratulations again for everything you're doing. I have my eyes on you. I'm going to be watching you, Ktown Cowboys. I'm on it. Thank you again.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right. All right, guys. It's the end of the Big Scoop with Coop, and I'll catch you all next time. Until next time, everybody.